All right, well, it's official, and I am pumped. My kayak is tournament ready. This is the Moken 10 PDL. I'm going to go through the whole thing. I know I've done some videos on the boxes and the crate and stuff like that and how I've added to it, but I just want to go ahead and go over the whole kayak and show you exactly what I put on here, how I've got it on here, and why it's in the placement it is, or whatever reason. So I'm going to jump into this kayak right now and let you guys see exactly what I'm going to be fishing out of in 2025. Like I said, I'm running the Moken 10 PDL. Here are the pedals for the kayak. Now, with the tournaments that I fish, I am not allowed to have pedals in there. And the tournament that I fish in June, I also can't have the pedals in there. There are some tournaments that I'm going to try to fish this year where I'm allowed to use those. But right now, I'm going to show you the build on the kayak without the pedals. So like I was saying, I cannot use the pedals, so I had to make an insert to go over top. The insert is the wood there with weather stripping underneath it. I've added the Magnalure magnets for my fingernail clippers or my pliers or anything that I want to put on there. And then I added just a little screw box that I had left over from working on some stuff, and I just screwed that to the board, and I can throw weights or anything I want inside that. And then once I'm fishing and that's the space I have, I'm able to just put one of my tackle boxes right there and it'd be right out of the way. My feet's gonna sit right here in these two areas, and that'll be right out of the way and work out perfect for me. So I utilize a lot of that space by putting that board up there. Next is the Yak Attack boxes. I got a double box. This one right here, I've got a bunch of my baits and stuff like that in that one. Then close that one off, put this one, and I've got my scale, my extra battery. I've got all my little accessories that I want to keep out of the way and up here in front with me, so I can, put it on whatever I need to do or do whatever. So that's the Yak Attack box right on the right rail and leaves plenty of room. I actually fished with the pedals in the other day and that didn't bother me at all. All right, the next thing I've done is add a 6-inch Yak Attack rail and a rod holder to it. Now, for me, this was one of the bigger things that I was adding to the kayak, because when you're retying or moving areas, or you catch a fish and you're about to put him on the board, you really want that rod out of the way, but you also don't want to take any chances on losing that rod. So I think that right there to the right of the seat, I'm right-handed, that's a perfect placement for that rod, and get it out of my way. Now under the seat, I have 2 bait boxes that go under here. Now what I've done with this is I have taken this box, added one of the magnets here and a magnet on the floor. So when I put that thing back under there, it hooks to that magnet. It is not going anywhere. Did that on both sides. Got a little bit more storage under there, and I'm able to have more lures under the seat, and just, that works out great when, I've got my crankbaits, stuff like that, certain baits I want under there that I'm not using all the time, not like my worms and everything like that. So, works out pretty well. Let's jump over to the port side of the kayak. Now you can see I have the Yak Attack GoPro mount. Now I've added a few GoPro pieces to it to get it a little higher off of the rail and get it more facing back towards me. So if I'm wanting to do a little talking scene, or I'm pedaling or paddling, or I catch a fish and I want to do a little video showing the fish right there in front of me, and then I can also move that down to look into the floor of the boat and show me measuring the fish, and then I can turn it sideways and have it over the side of the boat where you can also see me releasing the fish. So really like that mount there. Didn't spend a whole lot on this, just went with a cup holder from Amazon, $5, mounts right to the rail. That was pretty simple. Now this right here is from Yak Gadget. It is a board and 2 rod holder. As you can see, it mounts right there on the rail and all the way at the front of the rail. and then it'll hold 2 rods right here. One, I'm just got one in there to show you what it looks like, and another one out there, and then it'll also hold my board. Now, I've not upgraded to the Yak Attack boards, but this board right here does fine, and pretty much everybody accepts the measurements from it. So don't get rid of something that already works. So, but that right there, I was pretty excited to get that in and get that on the kayak and see what it looked like, and I really, really like it. Now jumping to the back of the kayak, you can see I have another one of the Magnalure. Now, these Magnalure strips did not come like this. I did cut these Magnalure strips, and I know that's not what they were intended for, but I used them exactly how I needed them. So they've worked out great. I love them. You know, this one right here holds my Gerber tool, and I can reach right behind me and grab it, cut lines, and do whatever I need to do. Next is my crate here. This is by Yak Gear. Pretty simple. Now it hooks just to by the bands there, or what I have done, I've taken one of the Yak Gear, I guess I don't know exactly what those are called, but then I just took pull straps and put them through the holes inside of this crate and pulled them down tight, and it works very well. I mean, it's in there, it's sturdy, it's not going anywhere, and I don't have to worry about that falling off if something happened, if the kayak flipped over. You know, they're not going nowhere. Added 2 more rod holders to it, and I've used these several times, and this works out great. I can hold all together 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rods. I typically take 6, but I can hold up to 8. One of those will actually be for a net when it gets here, but haven't got that yet. But like I said, it's on both sides, straps on the sides. Now I taped them just to keep the straps from flapping and everything like that, but that was just something I did. Next is the sea tug wheels to travel with my kayak. You know, if I'm going to a place where I'm gonna have to drag this kayak a long way, I have these. Now, they are technically not on here, but after putting those on there, I kind of like the way they sit on the back of the kayak. So I may have to figure out a way to secure those down to the kayak to where I can use that. But I'm not 100% sure. You know, if I'm gonna have to use those, I can always walk to the truck. I can do whatever I need to do if I'm gonna have to go a long ways and use the wheels. But it also has a wheel on the back, so you know, it's not really hard pushing it down to the water and pulling it out of the water. So those will be something I, you know, just kind of ponder on here for a while and maybe see if I want to do that, but not technically worried about it right now. Next is my Yak Attack flag, battery powered, right here. Let's see, boom, lights on, flags out, turn it off, runs off, I think, 1 or 2 AA batteries. I'm not sure, I never took it apart to find out, but I will have to put some batteries in here just in case, so that thing does not die on me going out early in a tournament. And the last thing here is the Yak Gadget GoPro mount. It is around 3 foot tall. It doesn't really stick perfectly over my shoulder, but I have extended it a little bit, as you can see, and those hold perfectly, and I can adjust those and do everything I need to do. And then I've got the extra battery life there with the GoPro Hero 7 Silver, and it films right over my shoulder. And from the past few times I've been and actually filmed with it like that, it looks great. It's, you know, the angle's good. I do wish I could get it a little bit higher, but that is okay. I've actually looked into a few things to actually get that up higher, but that is not a big concern. That's a good angle, and it works good, and it looks good on video, so I'm gonna stick with that for right now. But that is the build for the kayak there. You know, I'm really excited about it, and getting out there and seeing what I can do this year in 2025. But hope to see you guys on the water. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the build. Hopefully this helps you if you're looking for any kind of stuff. You can comment, and if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer. But I am gonna call it a night. You guys have a great day.